Hey guys, ESO here from the 409. I just wanted to throw together a quick tutorial showing how I use GBU12s with Tpod, because ever since the Tpod came out, we've been using laser guided bombs a lot more, and some people have been having some problems getting them to work fairly well, so I just wanted to throw together a quick video showing how I employ them. That said, I don't know if I'm doing it absolutely properly. There's probably all kinds of procedure that I'm not following, but it's been working for me, so I thought I'd just share it with you guys. So we're just going to start going down the checklist here. Master arm is armed. We're in air to ground master mode. The FLIR switch is all the way forward to the on position. The laser target designator switch is all the way forward to armed. I'm going to come up here to the stores page. I'm going to box 82LG. That's the GBU12 500-pound laser guided bombs. I also have two 500-pound JDAMs, but that'll be a different video. I'm going to set my laser code to 1 and then my tail number, so I'm flying jet 761, so we'll make our code 1761. I'm going to go mode, auto, M-fuse, off, electronic fuse, instantaneous, and now, oh look, didn't I just say mode, auto? Look, what's going on here? Mode, auto, fuck you. I think it's just a bug. This sometimes doesn't switch until I switch it to something else. There we go, switch it, put it to that. Now back to auto. Hey, there we go, and all my stuff's happy. And you can see I've got auto in the HUD not crossed out, so that means I've got good, valid parameters to drop the bomb. So we'll come over to the FLIR page on my other DDI. Some guys do it on the color MFCD. I like the right DDI. That's just the way it's been for my workflow. I'm going to box trigger so that when I pull the trigger on my stick, it will toggle arming the laser designator. I'm going to set my laser target designator code to the same thing I did before, which was 1761. Enter. Okay, verify that and that are the same code. That looks pretty good. I use the FLIR field of view switch on my stick, on my throttle actually. I've got it bound to, let's box. I press sensor select right to make sure the right DDI is selected, and when I'm just looking down at the world here, I can press the short press on the field of view switch to toggle between wide and narrow field of view, and then I also use the radar elevation up to zoom in, and radar elevation down to zoom out, and then field of view back to wide. You can also long press the field of view switch, which I think is more than 1.5 seconds, and it will switch you between FLIR and CCD optical modes, same as hitting button 1 on the DDI here. And when you're in infrared, you can also switch between white hot and black hot, but we're in daylight clear conditions, so I'm just going to use optical. So I'm going to try and find my targets here. In fact, probably the fastest way to do it is just going to be to put my nose on them. I just threw a couple of tanks over there somewhere. So I'll just come around here, put my nose on them, just to get them marked with the Tpod instead of you guys having to watch me slew around and search for them forever. So now I know I'm in the neighborhood. Gonna look over here. Oh, there they are. Okay, good enough. Can level off. Bring my throttle down, and I'll hit maybe 350 or so and put it on auto throttle. Meanwhile, I'm going to zoom right in here and pick this guy. One thing we found is that to switch between area track, which is just completely stationary, and point track, which will track a moving target, you need to press the direction of your DDI on your sensor select switch again. So I pressed right on the right DDI, and now you can see I'm in point track. If I press right on the sensor select switch again, I've gone back to area track. Anyhow, I'm going to use point track because it's a vehicle that could potentially move. But one thing we found in testing yesterday was that if you have the FLIR on your color bottom display and you press sensor select aft, it will not switch between area and point track. I had to have it on the left or the right DDI to do that. So anyhow, I've lost my target now, but that's all right. Climb up a bit too, because we got a little low here, and we'll go a little bit further away so we can come in and make a nice run. So that I can explain everything. Can I time compression? Is that a thing? Oh yeah, just ripping now. Okay, a couple miles away, leveling off at 20,000, coming back around. So now that I'm watching this guy again, I'm going to depress my sensor select switch, and you can see, oh, that gave me a target symbology that I can navigate towards, which is pretty convenient. You see we're 30 seconds to release. We are 9 miles away from the target. I'm going to set auto throttle, barometric altitude hold, and I'll just I'll manually keep myself on the fall line here. I'm not going to set a heading hold or anything like that. I'm going to start holding down my weapon release button, and in preparation for that to drop. And you know what? I haven't even armed the laser yet, but we're at 20,000 feet. Pickle. Doesn't have to happen right away, but I'm going to go ahead and pull my trigger once, and laser is on. Looking at this guy. Zoom out a bit. You see by this changed that my laser is on. We're getting pretty close to flying over this guy, so I'm going to increase my angle of bank just to keep him in the line of sight of the targeting pod, and shack. And now, because I found the laser doesn't necessarily turn off, and it will overheat or burn out, I'm not exactly sure what happens, I'm going to make sure I press my trigger again and turn off my laser. Otherwise, the next time I go to use it, it's not going to work. Okay, so I hope that was probably a little bit rambly, but I hope that might help somebody who's having trouble using these. That those are the things to check. Make sure before the sortie that you have your bomb program all set up. Even when there's no laser, you should see auto if you're in auto bombing mode, or CCIP if you're in CCIP, not crossed out. Like here, can I make this invalid somehow if I arm a fuse? Yeah, see now, auto is crossed out, right? It will not drop a bomb. I can press weapon release as many times as I want. Nothing's going to happen because it's an invalid program. So make sure whatever mode you're in, you have valid parameters. So even if it was CCIP, right? Here's CCIP, not boxed out, I can drop it. Yeah, make sure your codes match. Make sure you have this guy boxed so that you're going to use your trigger when you're on. Make sure you can press pull the trigger to make sure you see that you're armed, right? It'll go from right now, my laser is just armed, but it's idle. And let's whip around again here and back to where I was aiming. It is pretty convenient to use the Tpod to mark a target, because even here I am now looking back towards my target. I was able to use the diamond steering cue on the heading tape to bring me back around. So yeah, here let's zoom right in here and pick another target. Yeah, so there's my laser is armed, right? You can see my laser is armed. I can click the trigger again. Laser is not armed. Yeah, some people still like CCIP, but I just think if you're using a guided bomb, you know, I don't even want to have to worry about putting my nose at a good angle. You know, might drop altitude and get into the threat envelope of some other planes here. I'm 5 seconds to drop. I'm holding down the weapon release button. Should intersect pretty well right there. One away. Laser on. Oh, come on, laser on. There we are. Laser's on. Zoom out again on the DDI, so you get that, you know, how zoomed out it would be when they're going to show this clip on CNN later. Good check. All right, well, anyhow, guys, that is GBU 12s with the Lightning targeting pod. Hope that helps. Cheers.